गुड इवनिंग एंड वेलकम बैक टू पैसा बोलता है। पैसा बोलता है में फिर से आपका स्वागत है। टुडे आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट वन ऑफ इंडियाज लार्जेस्ट कंपनीज व्हिच इज बेस्ड इन तमिलनाडु एंड दिस इज इंडियाज सेकंड लार्जेस्ट फाइनेंस कंपनी. This is a non-banking finance company. If I ask you this as a quiz question, not many people will know that this is India's second largest finance company. This company was formed by the amalgamation of three companies: Shriram Capital, Shriram Transport Finance and Shriram City Union Finance, forming Shriram Finance, now India's second largest non-banking finance company. Shriram Finance has now existed for 9 months after the merger. The merger has been completed. It is now India's second largest among domestic non-banking finance companies. It has a total asset under management of 1.9 lakh crores. It's behind Bajaj Finance, which has 2.47 lakh crores. Shriram Finance has prioritized sustainable growth considering its pre-merger companies non-aggressive lending approach, that there was no aggression in lending in Shriram Finance's approach. The company primarily lent to small businessmen and rural areas. The company's foundation is from a company called Shriram Chits, which has its roots way back in 1970s. The company is now trying to diversify from its traditional business. What was its traditional business? Its traditional business was second-hand vehicle finance. Commercial finance was its traditional business. That is, it would lend to transport operators. Sundaram Finance was dominating the new vehicles. They found an opportunity to do second-hand vehicles. Basically, what they did was they cannibalized from the money lenders. The money lenders were actually dominating second-hand finance. What the study found through their chit company, Shriram Chit, that most of the second-hand transport vendors were saving money through their chits, and they were quite regular. So they saw an opportunity where they could lend at high margins. Net interest margin was very high, but it was cheaper for the small businessmen when compared to borrowing money from a money lender. So it saw an opportunity, it got into it and exploited it. And then what it did is it started doing two-wheeler loans for very small businessmen and people to whom at that time banks would not give. Today we are spoiled by choice. When you go to a dealer, anybody is willing to finance you because the loan is good. But in those days, 25 years back, when I was a young man, getting a two-wheeler loan was extremely difficult. You had to give all sorts of proofs. Again, Shriram City Union saw an advantage there and got into two-wheeler finance. Today, it is not well known, but they were also pioneering gold loans. Today, we are talking about Manappuram and Muthoot Fincorp, but Shriram was one of the pioneers of gold loans. So basically, this is their main business, and their chit business was also there. They were therefore in a position to give personal loans also. So Shriram Finance is using that base. So they basically serve small business, and so most of their customers are below the prime customer. They won't go to large corporates or employees of large corporates. They were normally giving to small business, especially from rural Tamil Nadu, rural Andhra and rural South India, which was already developed and was continuing. But this customer base has another problem. There is a risk of bad loans. So bad loans will be normally higher than when you give to quality people. If there is a sudden downturn in business, collecting money will become extremely difficult. Like COVID would have impacted this company extremely badly. So this and Bajaj are competing for the same space. Shriram Transport Finance was founded in 1979 with Shriram Holdings Incorporated in 1993 as a holding company. So private equity player TPG Capital acquired 49% of Shriram Holdings in 2005. Ajay Piramal, who had sold his pharmaceutical business, decided to invest and buy 10% of Shriram Group from TPG, but later exited because there was cultural differences. Shriram's has a unique ownership structure, which includes partial ownership through Shriram Ownership Trust. So what does the Shriram Ownership Trust do? It has 44 employees who are at senior management level. This trust establishes in perpetuity, and the money is there. You cannot take out the shares when you go out. It is basically your retirement option money comes to you. So and it is not given as one lump sum. After you retire, over 8 years, this money comes to you. So it not only would you work very carefully, you will also build a team very strong, so that even after you retire next 7 years, you have to get your money. So this is what it does. So what is Shriram's post-merger strategy? Is consolidating its workforce, bridging the cultural gaps among various companies, and use the utilization of experienced people. 50% of Shriram Finance's loans comes from rural area. Its specializes is it lends to people who are not featured in CIBIL. So they have their own internal model to assess borrower creditworthiness. It also does cross-selling of other financial products to leverage its extensive customer base. It also has a insurance subsidiary. So what is Shriram Finance is looking for a credit upgrade so that it can get a cheaper access to for lending, and especially crucial in rising interest rate scenario. So basically, Shriram is one of the very few public deposit taking companies, and is 24% of its total borrowing comes from deposits from general public. The cost of fund has increased to 8.89 in June quarters due to rising rates. That is why it wants a AAA credit rating, indicating a very low credit defaulters, and due to transition into multi-product, less cyclical, and it hopes to become a pan-India company. So if it gets a AAA rating, the money will come down. As of June 30th, the merged entity has a bad debt of 6.2% of its assets. This is a gross. Bad debt is 6.2, while Bajaj's non-performing asset is at 0.87. So Bajaj has a better collection facility. This makes sure that Bajaj is in a much better position to collect money. So the idea is not to grow the business aggressively, but to bring these bad debts into control, consolidate, and take the company to its next level so that the valuation increases. The bank, it is now run by a man called Chakravarti. Chakravarti is in this business from day one. He started very low down in the company, way down the company as an ordinary executive in a Shriram Chits company in Andhra Pradesh. From there, he has gone to a position where he runs the company today. So he understands the culture of this company extremely well. I hope you like this podcast. One should wait and watch before considering this company, but this could turn out to be a big winner over a long term. Wait and watch how this credit evolves. आपने इस पॉडकास्ट को सुना, इसके लिए मैं आपका आभारी हूँ. आप इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कीजिए, बेल नोटिफिकेशन को टीका लगाइए, और अगर आपने ये सब कर दिया तो आप इस वीडियो को अपने दोस्त और रिश्तेदार के पास भेजें. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार. जय हिंद. नमस्कार. फिर पैसा बोलता है में आपका स्वागत है. मैं आनंद श्रीनिवासन. हमने बेंगलुरु की इवेंट के बाद इवेंट सऊदी अरेबिया में होल्ड करने की डिसीजन ले ली है. सो 22 सितंबर को हम रियाद में एक इवेंट कर रहे हैं और 29 सितंबर को हम जिद्दा में मिल रहे हैं. जो भी मुझे मिलने चाहते हैं तो और सऊदी में रहते हैं, उनको रियाद में 22 सितंबर और जिद्दा में 29 सितंबर मिलेंगे. जो मुझे मिलने की इच्छुक हैं वो नीचे दिए गए ईमेल आईडी में मेल भेज सकते हैं और व्हाट्सएप नंबर से हमें संपर्क कर सकते हैं. धन्यवाद. नमस्कार. जय हिंद.